I think that one of the main drawbacks towards the overall popularity of the MLB draft is simply just how long it takes for players who were drafted to begin to make a worthwhile impact on their respective major league teams. For players drafted right out of college, it could take upwards of a year or more of development in the minor leagues before they're ready for the major leagues. And what's more, it could take a couple more years after that for them to truly get comfortable at the major league level. And for players drafted right out of high school, it's even worse, often with nearly 3 to 5 years of minor league development before they even see a single major league plate appearance or innings pitched. By the time players become notable major league contributors, many fans even just forget where they're even drafted. And this delayed gratification is what limits the MLB draft and its overall popularity compared to the NFL, NBA, or even NHL. However, every once in a while, we get a draft that we look back on as a league-defining draft. And even though it's only been 2 years, the 2023 draft looks to be on track to do just that. Despite the typical rules for Major League production right after the draft, the 2023 draft has already produced multiple Major League star talents. And even amongst those who haven't made their Major League debuts yet, they're showing immense promise at the minor league level. This video will look to showcase some of the top talents of the 2023 draft and how they will all contribute to the next wave of young talent in Major League Baseball. But before we get on to the video, could you guys please hit the like and subscribe button? Currently, only 3% of people who watch my videos are subscribed, so if y'all could, not only would it help me grow my channel, but also would encourage me to create more videos like this one for you guys. And without further ado, let's get on to the video.
The first pick of the 2023 MLB draft, the Pittsburgh Pirates pick Paul Skenes, right-handed pitcher from LSU.
Potential once-in-a-generation type talent.
Here it is. Swing and a foul tip. He's struck him out.
That's what's great about talents like this.
Struck him out 99 miles an hour.
He is the best college pitcher to come out at big league level since Tom Seaver.
Even for a number 1 overall pick, Paul Skenes had an excellent college career, even by such high standards. For 2023's national champions, Paul Skenes struck out 202 batters in just over 122 innings to a 1.69 ERA, capping off the end of an illustrious collegiate career at LSU and in the Air Force, where he also hit with an OPS over 1.1 there. Deemed as a consensus top 2 pick alongside LSU teammate Dylan Cruz, Skenes would go on to be the number 1 overall pick, where he basically hasn't looked back since. He'd only pitched 34 career minor league innings before the Pirates knew that he was ready to face major league hitters. And right after his call-up, he was immediately one of the best pitchers in all of baseball. Despite just pitching 133 innings due to beginning the 2024 season in the minor leagues, Skenes would go on to win the Rookie of the Year award, start the All-Star game for the National League, finish 3rd in the Cy Young, all while posting an ERA under 2 in 23 starts while striking out over 11 batters per 9 innings. Now, coming into the 2025 season as a frontline starter in the entire game and a franchise cornerstone for Pittsburgh, Skenes has somehow met, if not exceeded, all expectations placed on him at the beginning of the season. Through 17 starts, Skenes is currently the frontrunner for the National League Cy Young Award. He's been the most productive pitcher in all of baseball by wins above replacement, and despite having a 4-7 record, he leads the National League with a 2.12 ERA. In terms of dominance on this level across multiple seasons, I haven't seen anything like this since DeGrom in the late 2010s. And in terms of his meteoric rise, Paul Skenes has been unprecedented in his path to superstardom. And in a sport in which the number 1 overall pick does not always guarantee a fruitful career, it's truly remarkable what Paul Skenes has done in just 2 years to establish himself as one of the faces in all of baseball. And next up,
the 4th pick of the 2023 MLB draft, the Texas Rangers select Wyatt Langford, an outfielder from the University of Florida.
Going into the draft process as one of, if not the toolsiest player in the entire draft, Wyatt Langford would go on to be selected by the eventual World Series champion Rangers 4th overall. Almost immediately, Langford would go on to establish himself as one of the top prospects in the entire game, moving all the way up to AAA at just 21 years old with a combined slash line of 360, 480, 677 for a 1.157 OPS and 10 home runs in just 44 games after being drafted. For Langford to immediately adjust to professional pitchers was incredibly impressive, and after batting .377 with 6 home runs in spring training of 2024, he made the opening day roster. And although he battled some injuries, Langford showcased star potential in his rookie season, hitting 16 home runs while stealing 19 bases with a 115 OPS plus and finishing 7th in Rookie of the Year voting. Going into the 2025 season, he was a dark horse to be in the running for MVP in a potential breakout season. However, unfortunately, that just hasn't come to be as he's battled injuries once again, but when healthy, he has continued to show promise with a 110 OPS plus and 13 home runs in just 67 games. The Wyatt Langford breakout season will happen eventually. There's just too much raw talent with him, and if he ends up staying healthy, it's surely not out of the question for Langford to post a 30-30 all-star caliber season at some point throughout his career. And lastly,
with the 6th pick of the 2023 MLB Draft, the Oakland Athletics select Jacob Wilson, a shortstop from Grand Union University.
In my mock draft, I noted that there was a big 5 of sorts, and that there was actually a slight teardrop going into the Athletics at pick 6. However, what I should have said in hindsight was that there was actually a big 6, and Jacob Wilson was one of the better players in the entire draft. Going into the draft process, evaluators everywhere knew that Wilson was one of, if not the best pure hitter in the entire draft, showcasing that at Grand Canyon by batting .411 in his junior season with 17 doubles, 4 triples, and 6 home runs in just 49 games. After going 6th overall to the Athletics, Wilson would continue to showcase that his bat translated at the minor league level, as he would slash an incredible .433, .473, .668 for a 1.142 OPS across 53 minor league games going all the way up to AAA before earning his major league call-up. And while a hamstring injury took him out for a good chunk of the 2024 season after he was called up, it also did keep his prospect status intact going into the 2025 season, where he currently has hit the ground running and looks to be the favorite for AL Rookie of the Year. His approach at the plate is one of the most unique approaches in all of baseball. He swings a ton with one of the slowest bat speeds in all of baseball, and he barely walks and yet at the same time almost never strikes out. Despite cooling off recently, Wilson still has a .338 batting average and 138 OPS plus. And while his game is atypical for your average star, as in his best season he'll be lucky to hit 20 home runs in a season, there's a place for guys who drive the ball to all fields and put the ball in play. And Wilson embodies that as one of the best contact hitters in the league already in just his first full major league season. And even though the rest of the top 10 picks haven't seen the same level of immediate star production that Skenes, Langford, and Wilson have shown over the last 2 years, what they have demonstrated up to this point still has to get you excited for the future of this draft class, and what it means for the future of all of baseball itself. With the 2nd overall pick in the 2023 MLB Draft, the Washington Nationals selected Golden Spikes Award winner and LSU teammate Dylan Crews. While Crews has struggled to make consistent contact in what has been a disappointing rookie season in 2025, at his floor, he is a 20-homer, 20 stolen base player in his prime with the ability to play around the outfield with solid defense. Additionally, he's only just 23 years old, and at his peak he can be a 30-30 player with a high batting average and great defense in center field. And with the 3rd overall pick, the Detroit Tigers would select the best amateur player on the board in Max Clark. Now 20 years old and in high A, he's Detroit's top prospect. He plays elite defense in center field thanks to blazing speed and an arm that is clocked in at 97 miles per hour. His bat is also coming along, and it's not out of the question for him to be a more disciplined Pete Crow Armstrong when it all pans out. On a similar note, Walker Jenkins, drafted 5th overall by the Twins, is also a top prospect in their farm system. While not the elite 5-tool package like Clark, Jenkins is a plus hitter from both a contact and power perspective, and at only 20 years old, he's already in AA and putting up good numbers in 2025 as a bat-first right fielder with a good arm. Jenkins within the next couple of years will eventually make his major league debut as a threatening middle-of-the-order lefty bat. And while the 8th overall pick in the 2023 draft in Blake Mitchell has been hampered by injuries to begin his minor league career, there's a place in the league for guys with defensive abilities like Mitchell at catcher, and with developing power, it's not out of the question for him to eventually become one of the better catchers in all of baseball. And to round out the top 10, we have a trio of pitchers in Rhett Lauder, Chase Dollander, and Noble Meyer, drafted by the Reds, Rockies, and Marlins respectively. Lauder, the Reds' second best prospect behind only Chase Burns, had an excellent start to his major league career in 2024 with a 1.17 ERA in 6 starts. However, a forearm strain to begin the season, coupled with an oblique injury while rehabbing, has kept him out so far for the 2025 season. However, when he returns healthy, look for him to put his name in the mix for this young Reds pitching staff. Meanwhile, Chase Dollander has remained healthy, and while he has struggled with an ERA around 6 in his rookie season, he's got ace-level potential with a high 90s fastball and one of the best curveballs in all of baseball. And lastly, drafted 10th overall out of high school, Noble Meyer has expectantly been taken along slowly for a high school pitcher, but that hasn't stopped him from becoming one of the top prospects in Miami's system, with 149 strikeouts and 122 innings across his 3-year career, ranging all the way up to high A. However, the strength of any draft is not determined only by the top 10 selections, and very often, stars are found throughout the draft. Mike Trout was selected with the 25th overall pick, Aaron Judge with the 32nd overall pick, James Wood was our 2nd round pick, and even Tarek Skubal was a 9th round selection who would go on to dominate at both the minor and major league level. The point here is that the ultimate strength of this draft, while bolstered by the top 10 selections and their upside, ultimately comes down to gems and productive players found throughout the draft board. And while it is still early, this draft is already an anomaly in the amount of players who have begun their major league careers. For guys who have already debuted, 11th overall pick Nolan Schanuel joins the list of Angels players to quickly make their major league debut. As a first baseman, Schanuel looks like an above-average player already at just 23 years old, and with great underlying metrics in his pitch selection, a breakout could soon be incoming for the young infielder out of Florida Atlantic. Now moving 2 picks downward, Matt Shaw was the Cubs' 13th overall selection out of Maryland, and he dominated the minor leagues for the next season and change to earn the third base job going into 2025. An NL Rookie of the Year frontrunner going into the season, Shaw has admittedly struggled with the bat to start his major league career, but his strong minor league resume speaks for itself, and what Shaw has done so far in such a short period of time is impressive and gives me great optimism for the future of his overall career. Next up, the Red Sox would go on to select Virginia's own Kyle Teel with the 14th overall selection. Teel would go on to rake at the minor league level and be deemed a blue chip prospect right before being traded to the White Sox as one of the main pieces in the Garrett Crochet trade. Now with the White Sox, Teel looks like one of the bright young stars on the team, and a cornerstone at catcher looking to turn them around like what Adley did for the Orioles. And at the moment, while none of these players have established themselves as a complete star talent yet, you have to keep in mind that this is only after 2 years of professional at-bats. If they continue the rise that they're on, this draft could be filled with all-star caliber players littered throughout the first round. And what's more, there are a ton of other players who have already made their major league debuts. First-rounder Hurlston Waldrop drafted by the Braves through 7 innings in 2024 and is now in AAA as one of the Braves' top prospects. 7th-rounder Seth Halverson is a flame-throwing reliever who seemingly took over the closer job for the Rockies. 2nd-rounder Grant Taylor has a similar profile and is now getting saves for the White Sox. Jake Bloss was the main piece in the Yusei Kikuchi trade and threw 11 innings in 2024. Logan Evans, an 8th-round pick, has been great for the Mariners through 8 starts. And Andrew Walters is in Cleveland's mix of young relievers. And as for some more position players, Luke Keyshaw and Ben Williamson have both showcased flashes as everyday players with upside, and 4th-rounder Christian Campbell has so far been the middle-round steal of the draft. Although he has struggled mightily since his hot start in 2025, he's still only 23 years old, and by signing him to an 8-year, $60 million extension before the 2025 season, the Red Sox have showcased their confidence in him as a longtime franchise cornerstone for them. So while currently the major league contributors are a bit few and far between, over the course of the next couple of years, we will begin to see many more young studs make their impact on the major league landscape. While still a ways away, many 2023 draftees are already making promising developments in the minor leagues. Of the top 100 prospects according to MLB Pipeline, a quarter of them are from the 2023 draft. For some context, that's more than any other draft class or international signing class in any year both before and after 2023. With healthy representation already at the major league level and now the strongest future class of prospects, the 2023 draft has the potential to go down in history as a landmark class if more of these prospects do pan out. While still not a guarantee, let's talk about some of the future stars of tomorrow. We'll start with Colt Emerson, who is likely the most highly touted prospect not drafted inside the top 10, as he was only 17 going into the draft, and after being selected 22nd overall by the Mariners, has since impressed a lot for his age. And now at 19 years old, he's holding his own in high A as an offense-first infielder. Additionally, with the Mariners' 2nd first-round pick, they would select another high school bat, picking Johnny Farmello, not 29th overall. And while he has been hampered with injury this season specifically, he showcased an elite-level bat when he's healthy, posting an OPS over 950 in high A at only 20 years old. Additionally, the Rays are another team to have a pretty strong 2023 draft class so far. 19th overall selection Braden Taylor is a power-hitting infielder with great fielding, and while he's hit a wall at AA this year, he's had a great resume beforehand and just needs some more time to develop. And outside of Taylor, Trey Morgan has been another example of Tampa's excellent development squad. While never having elite power, Morgan is an advanced hitter, and could likely already hold his own at the major league level as he has a .430 on-base percentage at AAA this season. And to round out this Rays haul from the 2023 draft, they also have Aiden Smith, drafted in the 4th round by the Mariners and then sent to the Rays in the Randy Arozarena deal. He has great defense in the outfield and a developing bat. For some more prospects, the Tigers, who already have Max Clark as one of the top prospects in all of baseball from the 2023 class, also boast 2nd-rounder Kevin McGonigal as another top 25 prospect in baseball. McGonigal looks like a complete hitter already at 20 years old, and 2025 has been his best season yet, with an OPS over 1.1 in high A and 7 home runs in just 31 games. And now for the lightning round, even though the Marlins drafted Noble Meyer 10th overall in 2023, fellow high school lefty Thomas White may be the best Marlins prospect acquired in this year's draft. He's got a career 2.83 ERA going all the way up to AA at just 20 years old, with 189 strikeouts and only 143 innings. For some more prospects, 16th overall pick Bryce Eldridge has one of the best power outputs in all of the minor leagues and is only 20 years old in AAA already. 27th overall pick Aiden Miller is one of the top prospects in Philly's system as a power-hitting infield prospect with a great arm. George Lombard Jr. is a gem of an infield prospect for New York. 28th overall selection Bryce Matthews is having a great season in AAA with 10 home runs and 23 stolen bases to become Houston's top prospect. And 20th overall pick Arjun Nimmala is a top prospect in the Blue Jays system, having a breakout season in High A at just 19 years old. For some middle round gems, second rounder Brandon Sproat and third rounder Travis Sikora are both top of the line pitching prospects for the Mets and Nationals respectively. Fourth rounder Quinn Matthews was the minor league pitcher of the year in 2024. Fourth rounder Cooper Pratt looks like a solid power speed infielder. And a pair of third rounders in Guardian CJ Kayfus and New York's Nolan McLean have both been excellent this year to put themselves on the map as potential blue chip prospects. However, amongst all the players drafted in 2023, when all is said and done, the real steal in this draft could be Zyhir Hope, drafted 326th overall by the Cubs in the 11th round. Then traded to the Dodgers in the Michael Busch deal, Hope has since broken out as one of the top prospects in baseball at only 20 years old, showcasing advanced pitch selection coupled with emerging power. In a league in which major league contributors past the 10th round are few and far between, for Hope to showcase star potential could be one of the best underdog stories in all of baseball in just a couple of years. So overall, for the 2023 draft to showcase so much promise already after just 2 years is a great sight to see and also amazing for the future of baseball itself. Even amongst some of the players I didn't touch on for the sake of brevity, there are still so many more future everyday players and solid contributors on almost every team. From the very top of the draft class in superstar Paul Skenes, down to the later rounds with Zyhir Hope and all of his potential, the 2023 class is shaping up to be one of the more impactful draft classes we've seen in decades. While the sheer randomness of baseball almost guarantees that some of the prospects that I've covered in this video will ultimately not pan out to the superstar potential that they forecast, the 2023 draft class already boasts an exceptional volume of talent and production that already looks historic compared to draft classes in the 2020s. Honestly, I can't wait for the next couple of years and what has in store for the 2023 class. When we look back after 5 to 10 years, we can really see the makings of a foundational draft for multiple franchises, filled with stars and superstars around the league. Well, thank you guys so much for watching. Remember, if you enjoyed, please like, share, and subscribe, and comment down below new video ideas. Also, comment down below any players that you think I might have missed and highlight them in the comments down below, and I'll talk about them. If you'd like to see any specific types of videos going into the trade deadline, let me know, or even the All-Star break, as that is coming up as well. Just let me know in the comments down below, and I will see you guys all in the next one. God bless.